Hey guys, it's Riley. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to bring you guys a video about cheap stationery because honestly that's pretty much all I use anyways. I know I started bullet journaling years ago, but I never really felt adequate to share it anywhere like YouTube or Pinterest or whatever, just because I didn't have the most recent cool things, I guess. I've never really gotten into having an excessive amount of washi tape or really fancy pens or anything like that. I just kind of use some of these cheap basic materials that I've had for a long time. And honestly, these are the ones that I would recommend to you. If you've been watching some other videos and just kind of getting overwhelmed by the amount of materials that seem to be involved in bullet journaling, I just kind of want to bust that myth. You really don't need fancy things. Honestly, you just need a journal and a pen to do the bare minimum, but even to play around with it, to kind of spice it up with some color and stuff like that, you really can do all of that on a budget. So that's what I want to talk about today, and let's just jump right into our video. So a few things before I start with the video. The first is this: I'm from Canada, so when I talk about the price that I bought something for, I am talking about Canadian currency. However, the links in the description are to Amazon, the US version, so don't worry about that. My references will be to Canadian dollars, but in the description you can order things even if you are living in the US. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is the journal. This is probably the most fundamental part of bullet journaling, and I want to introduce you guys to a few different journals that I use and have used in the past that were all really budget friendly. So I'm going to start off with the cheapest option right here. So this journal, as you can see, it's really simple, plain cover, gold foil for the words bullet journal. It's got a really interesting kind of unbound look going on the side, and you can get it in 4 colors. I have all 4 because they were so cheap. Guys, these journals are $3 at Dollarama. $3, and that's Canadian, so that's even less American. Now, I could not find them online. I don't think they carry Dollarama brand online because these are just studio brand, kind of the basic brand that Dollarama uses for lots of their stationery. But I've actually been really pleasantly surprised with how nice they are. So they do still have the dot grid thing going on. They have square corners, which is a bit unusual for me. I usually use ones with rounded corners, but honestly, I don't really have much to say as far as complaints, so I think the square corners thing would be all good for me. I bought a ton of these to use as gifts. I've been making pre-made bullet journals for friends and family, and maybe eventually I'll start selling them, but honestly I think they're really cute, and they're also super duper affordable. So if you're looking for an affordable option, these are a great choice. They're just called Studio Bullet Journal with bullet sheets from Dollarama. And so again, sadly I could not find these online, but if you do want to head over to your local Dollarama and check that out, hopefully they're still in stock because these seriously were a steal for me. Now, the next bullet journal I want to introduce you to is also really budget friendly, and this is the one that I actually currently use. It's super plain. As you can see, they do come in a ton of different colors, but this one is just by Artist Loft. So Artist Loft is the brand that I know Michaels carries and lots of other craft stores, and this is my favorite bullet journal. And this one does have stark white pages, which actually the Dollarama one has stark white pages as well. One other thing that I like about this one is that it is a touch wider than your average bullet journal, which personally I find the spacing and stuff works out really well in this journal. And this journal was only about $9 Canadian. So more than the $3 Dollarama one, but still incredibly affordable, especially just for the great features that it has. It even has a pocket in the back. It has these 2 ribbons, which is a really nice feature, and it does have an elastic, just like that. Now, the next journal I want to introduce you to is one that I got off Amazon. It's actually super plain. I just made that little ice cream decal with one of my out school classes and stuck it on there, but it also has an elastic, it has some ribbons. I paid $12 for this on Amazon, and honestly, of the 3 journals that I've shared with you today, this one is my least favorite, but the reason that I wanted to share it is because it's the one that's easiest to find online. Like I said, I could not find that Dollarama studio brand notebook online. I could find the Artist Loft one online, but I couldn't actually find it on Amazon, strangely enough. So this one is definitely available on Amazon. You can get it in a bunch of different colors. I chose a plain black. Probably the biggest reason that I don't like it as much as the others is that it has kind of yellowed pages, and they're also quite thin. So the Dollarama one, not terribly thick, but honestly I find them to hold out a lot better than these. None of my markers bleed through those Dollarama ones. They're not thick enough to paint in, but with this one, even my markers bleed through it, which is super annoying. Luckily, I don't actually use this for my own personal life. I use this when I teach my bullet journal classes. So I just have to skip pages, which seems like a huge waste to me. So I think it's It's all right as far as bullet journal goes, but I would recommend the other two before I would recommend this one. So those are the 3 bullet journals that I wanted to introduce you guys to because they are all super budget friendly. We've got the $3 option, the $9 option, and the $12 option. And again, I'll have links, at least as many links as possible, in the description box if you do want to check any of those out. Now the next thing I want to mention, and I know I am absolutely not the only person who raves about these, but seriously, Crayola SuperTips are the best. Like I said, when I was getting started with bullet journaling, I didn't have a ton of like fancy markers and things like that. I did go out and buy one Tombow brush pen that I knew I wanted to use because I was making a bunch of like Christmas cards. So I got this one specific color, and honestly, I liked it. But I found myself just ending up going back to my Crayola SuperTips over and over and over again and kind of avoiding using my Tombow brush pens. I do think they're great for some things, but overall, the Crayola SuperTips I think are just the best marker that I've found. Plus there's a huge color variety. So you can get them in packs of 20. I do have the 20 pack, it was about $2. You can also get a 50 pack, which last I checked at Walmart was $8. And then there's this one, the 100 pack, which on Amazon, I can't seem to find it for terribly cheap. It's about $20 when I find it on Amazon. But in store, like I got this on a back to school sale and it was only 10 bucks for 100 different colors. And honestly, they are beautiful colors. If you want to see more of those, you can see them in pretty much any bullet journal video I've posted. I also have a video where I actually went through and swatched all of them and labeled them, which has been so nice for me. So if you do want to kind of get a sneak peek at what all of the colors look like, I'll link that video right above too. So these are definitely a huge bang for your buck. They're great for a lot of things, like coloring in big chunks because they are made for like kids. They don't run out quickly, you know, they don't start to fade after you've just been coloring for a while, but they do also have a nice sort of fine-ish felt tip. So you can do nice like hand lettering, calligraphy, and stuff like that with these. So these definitely a must-have. I mean, they're not totally a must-have because you can definitely bullet journal without even adding any color, but if you are looking to add color, these would be my first recommendation for you, just to get yourself a good old pack of Crayola SuperTips. And if you do find that there are some colors that you wish you had that you don't have in the Crayola SuperTips, what I've done is just buy individual Tombow brush pens or some other brand to make up for the few colors that I find I don't have in here. All right, now the next thing that I want to talk about is fine liners, and I know there are so many different opinions on fine liners out there, and I just want to share with you some that I've gotten a little bit more recently, and I just got them from Dollarama, and they've honestly worked really, really well for me. And these are called the Bic Intensity Liners, so you can get them in 3 different sizes. There's extra fine, fine, and medium. So I have the extra fine and the medium, and they come in packs of 3, so 3 of the same size. Unfortunately, I wish you could get one of each size, but I couldn't find that on Amazon either. So this one is a 0.4 millimeter nib. It actually has a metal nib, so it doesn't like fray or anything if you use it for writing. I found that it works really well, and it is super cheap. I spent $2 and got 3 of these fine ones, another $2 and got 3 of these medium ones, and this is a 1 millimeter nib. So obviously they're super budget friendly. I dropped $4 and got 6 pens that all work really, really well, and I've been so impressed with their performance so far. You'll also see these in a lot of my bullet journaling videos, and I'll try to link one of those somewhere over here so that you can check them out too. So those are all of my sort of budget-friendly bullet journaling supplies. I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe that you found a few things that you can pick up to get started or to add to your bullet journal collection. I know these have been things that have served me so well in my years bullet journaling, and so I hope that you enjoy them too. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.